Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Do It with Daisy. The Super Bowl is this weekend, and we are so excited. I have decided that we were gonna make some boneless wings. I actually have a dog safe bone-in wing recipe on our OFTV channel, so you can definitely check that out. We basically just swap the bones for rosemary twigs, which don't splinter when they're cooked, and they're 100% safe for dogs. They're safe for you too if you want to chew on them. Not to say that that's something you would enjoy doing. But yeah, so if you want bone-in wings, check out my OFTV channel. You can go to my OnlyFans page, and I actually have that OFTV video pinned right now so that it's easily accessible. Since the Super Bowl's this weekend, everyone wants to make wings. But this time we decided to make some boneless wings. Since waffles can't be around the like super hot oil, I did prepare them ahead of time, but I do want to walk you guys through exactly how I did that. Um, so you just take any kind of chicken, preferably with the skin on. That way you get that crunchy exterior without without having to yeah, sure, you can have that. Without having to create a breading or anything like that. We don't need to add any extra ingredients. Just hang on to that skin and you can you can actually like because when you cut the chicken into pieces, the skin's going to get kind of flappy. So if you wrap it around the chicken a little bit before you put it in the fryer, then that's going to make it come out of the fryer a little easier. And it's also going to make sure that you get that little crispiness all the way around, just like you see in, where's my camera? Ah, there you go. In that chunk right there. Oh. Well, that was just karma. Here, let me get you a little piece. So you put them in the fryer. Um, if you don't have a fryer, like I will say, it's going to be a lot easier and it's going to take a lot less time if you make these in a deep fryer. You can get a cheap one off on Amazon. I think mine was like 30 or 40 bucks. Um, but you can also make them in the stovetop. So if you don't have a fryer, that's okay. Just take like a good amount of oil. You preferably want your meat to be able to be completely submerged, but it's that's not a requirement. Just make sure that you've got a lid on your pot. You don't want any water in there, just oil or fat. I like duck fat. It's but it can get kind of pricey. So that's one thing that I do only if I'm cooking it in the stovetop. If I'm filling up a fryer, then I'm going to use something that is like olive oil, avocado oil, something that you can get in bulk, but isn't going to have like hella PUFAs. Um, so those are kind of like some starting points. And then when you're cooking these in a pot that's not a deep fryer, then you just want to stir them occasionally, just to, take a spoon and really create kind of like a vortex in that oil, or flip the chicken so that both sides get cooked evenly. And since the oil is coming up around the sides, stop being so greedy. Because the oil is coming up around the sides of each chicken tender, then um, it's not going to be raw in the middle or anything like that. And you do want to temp them. When they're done, you want the internal temperature to read 165 degrees. The other thing that you want to cook is you want to roast some red bell peppers. Okay, so now we're getting into the good stuff, right? I'm going to teach you how to make my dog safe buffalo sauce, which is also like a huge, huge crowd pleaser. And I'm going to share with you the secret ingredient that makes my sauce a huge crowd pleaser. It's not something that I've ever shared before, so be ready. So you want to start with some pureed roasted bell peppers. And that's a lot easier to do than it sounds. That sounds like 5 steps just in the description, right? But it's not. Here, I'll give you a little taste, Waffles. Just a little taste. Good girl. Now be patient. So in order to roast your red bell peppers, you just want to cut them into pieces. I usually do between 4 and 6 pieces per bell pepper, just sliced down, and then just put them in a pan. You can put a little bit of oil if you want. You don't need oil if you're using a nonstick pan, but if you do use a little bit of oil, I just recommend not going overboard because they don't need a lot. It does help them get softer and cook faster, but you never want to go in excess. We're going to be using a shitload of butter in this recipe, so we don't necessarily want to do more oil in our sauce than is necessary. So you're just going to cook those bell peppers in a pan, nice big pan that's going to fit all of your peppers. Put a lid on it and just let them go. You're going to want to stir them every once in a while but you'll know when they're done. They're going to get so soft and tender that you can like chop them in half very easily. Like you could accidentally chop them in half with a silicone spoon. And then you get like this delicious this delicious puree. Yeah, yes, honey, you can lick that. Waffles has been begging for this all night, but I'm like, you're not going to stain your mouth and you're also not going to drink all of our puree. Now, I did let this sit in the refrigerator overnight because, like I said, I wanted to make sure everything was cooked before our class today. So I'm going to warm it up a little bit so that it doesn't solidify the butter as soon as it touches. So to make our dog safe buffalo sauce, so fluffing good. To make our dog safe buffalo sauce, we're going to need that red pepper puree and we're going to have some apple cider vinegar. We're going to have that butter we talked about. We also want to have a few spices. The ones that I use in my buffalo sauce, excuse me again, I apologize. All right. The spices that I use in my buffalo sauce are chili powder, ginger, and smoked paprika. You think we should put that in? Yeah, we're going to put that in. As for the secret ingredient, this is the reason the secret ingredient has been secret since the first time I made my spicy buffalo wings is because it's not dog safe. So I know, I'm so sorry. You can't have the secret ingredient. I'm sorry. So when you want to make spicy buffalo wings, you cannot share those with your dog. And I have always used the OnlyFans NSFW hot sauce. It's the perfect blend of flavors and they don't use sugar to sweeten it, which is that's a huge driving factor for me because I have a hard time with sugar. It does some rough stuff to my body overall and all the way down to my joints. And it also kind of triggers some impulse control issues that are quite the struggle. So I do my best not to ingest sugar, and this stuff does not have any. Well, it's discontinued. Moment, please. So my favorite hot sauce is discontinued, but it doesn't have any sugar. So that's really the key thing is that it's sweetened with honey. It is bell pepper based, bell and habanero pepper, butternut squash, apple cider vinegar, which is also a key ingredient in our buffalo sauce. So there are a lot of like parallel ingredients in the hot sauce that I've always used with the buffalo sauce that we're making. So it makes sense that they would blend well together. And that's what I recommend keeping an eye out for when you're choosing a hot sauce to spice up your spicy buffalo wings. I recommend looking at the ingredients and seeing how many ingredients it has in common with our buffalo sauce itself. I'm gonna stir this. I really just want it to be up to room temperature. Yeah, that's good. All right. It is no longer colder than melted butter. Okay. So we first want to add some butter in here. Honey, please stop. Thank you. I'm just going to do half of it for right now. And and we measure with our hearts, okay? We want to make sure that everything is perfect. And quite frankly, stop, please. Uh, Waffles back up. Thank you. And quite frankly, the flavor of every single food, especially vegetables, is going to be dependent on how it's grown, how it's prepared. So we're going to be basing how much of each ingredient we want on what the flavors are that we already have. I think I want to whisk for this. This is not mixing very quickly, and I don't really have enough room in the bowl to mix quickly, like to give it a real faster. So I think a whisk will work better here. Yeah. So we'll mix in our butter. We also want to add some apple cider vinegar. Smoked paprika. Ginger. And chili. All right. Now let's give this a whiskerooski. We want this to get really well incorporated before we start adding any duplicate ingredients. Now, if you guys have any questions, make sure you drop those in the chat. I know, honey. I know you want to try it so bad, but I have to mix in the butter first. Otherwise, you're just going to drink a whole bunch of butter, and I'm not down with that, bro. You're the crazy fluffer. Right, that's getting really well incorporated. Give it a little. Okay, yeah, it's getting really good. We are going to add a little more butter. Creating a blockade so waffles can't eat it. I know, sweetie. Here, I'll give you a little taste. Oh, yeah, that's good stuff. No, thank you. I know you a sneaky snook. I know you are. Were you trying to be sneaky? You were. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, trying to be sneaky. You can't sneak past Mama. Mama knows all the things. No, it's definitely dog moms too. Yeah, dog moms know all the things too. All right, I'm gonna give this a little taste. Okay, that is a really good balance of flavors. Okay, I taste the butter, I taste the bell pepper, I taste the apple cider vinegar. I do taste a little bit of the ginger. I taste a little bit of smoked paprika. I want to add a little more chili and a touch more smoked paprika. And then don't worry about that, sweetie. Yeah. We'll go outside and see what the neighborhood kitty's up to in a little bit. Just ignore them right now. Word to the wise. If you give treats to the neighborhood cats, they will holler outside your door. Yeah. That's so good. So good. So really, like when I say measure with your heart, I mean it, guys. So now if I were going to make this whole batch spicy and not dog safe, I would add the hot sauce right now. I don't have enough to do that anyway, but I also don't really want to do that because I want waffles to be able to have at least one purposely. And the other downside to making all of them not dog safe is you then have to be careful. Like you have to make sure that your dog doesn't get into it. Whereas if you were to make the non dog dangerous. If you were to start with the dog safe version, you can always add the spicy ingredient as you're eating them. You can you can toss your wings in the hot sauce. You can dip your wings in the hot sauce, and those flavors are going to combine before they get to your taste buds. So, we're going to take a leak-proof container. You want to investigate? Okay. We're going to pour some of our wings into here. And then we're going to scoop some of our buffalo sauce on top of our wings here. The reason we want this to be leak proof is because the next thing we're going to do is shake the shit out of it. Like so. All right. These are probably evenly coated now. Let's give them a try. Don't steal. I will give you one. Don't steal. So good. Mm. Now I have to have one of these that is just for me. I'm going to take it over here away from waffles. Over here. Our hot sauce here. Ooh, okay, that was kind of a lot. I'm gonna split this between two wings. I don't want to waste any. Oh God, yes. Mm. Mm. Oh my God, so good. Mm. It just elevates it so much. Incredible. Like whoever knew that spicy buffalo wings needed habanero and butternut squash. So that is how we make boneless chicken wings, boneless buffalo wings that are both dog safe and human friendly. Does anyone have any questions for me? All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and let you guys drop any questions that you have while I sauce up the rest of these saucy wings. One thing that you might want to keep in mind is when you are saucing your wings, it's best to do it's best to do them in a single layer. That way you don't have any dry spots in between your wings. And then when you put the sauce on your wings, stop please. When you put the sauce, waffles, leave it. Thank you, beautiful. When you put the sauce on your wings, you just want to do a nice even layer. You don't have to do too much because, like I showed you before, we're going to shake it. Thank you. That was very good. I appreciate you doing such a good leave it and backing up and everything. And lay it down right here. I was just talking about it. Nope, 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 nope. Turn around. Thank you. Lay down. Right there. She doesn't like when her bed is dirty, and there is now buffalo sauce on her bed. Good girl. Mama, shake and shake. Shake, 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 shake. Shake, 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 and shake, and shake, 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 shake. All right. Yeah. Oh, look at that beauty. Oh yeah, honey, you can lick that a little bit. Just a little bit. Lay your butt down. Don't go nuts though. Don't go nuts. Don't go nuts. All right, now leave it. Mama gotta shake some more chicken. Yeah, I gotta shake some more chicken. I might have made too much sauce. We might need to fry up some more wings later. Good girl. All right, Mama gonna shake it. You ready, Mama? Shake. Lay down. Oh, what? Was are you? Stop. Let's say goodbye to our friends, and then I will let you down. Not yet, though. Lay down. How about a sit? No, no. Come back here. Good girl. Thank you. All right. Waffles is getting very overstimulated, a little bit frustrated because her bed is really dirty now. So we're gonna go ahead and let her go, and I will stay and hang out with you while I'm shaking this. But before I let her go, I do want to say goodbye to anyone who is just here to watch the dog's antics while we make buffalo wings. So thank you so much for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this video and you found it to be helpful. If you did, please make sure that you like this post, share it with a friend, and of course, comment if you can. Also, make sure that you're subscribed to all of my pages because I have so much more fun content to share with you. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week for some more doggone cooking. All right, sweetie, you can stand. Be very careful, and you can get off. Good girl. Yes, honey, Mama give you one more little taste. Good girl. Put this down here. I'll also give you a little safety pointer for anyone who is also wanting to cook with their dog. Waffles has gone through a lot of training to be able to safely hang out on the counter. Okay, this needs some more wings in here. It's still very saucy. Anyways, Waffles has done a lot of training to be able to hang out safely on the counter. Um, and one of those things is that she has to stay on her bed. Her bed has non-slip grips on the bottom. And I also, when she's jumping off of it, I hold it down so that the force of her body doesn't push it off. And then she doesn't have as much traction to jump off. Because that would be a really good way, like if I didn't hold it down, that would be a really good way for her to hurt her leg as she jumped off. As long as she has that traction, she is perfectly fine. She has plenty of room to get off. So that is always very important to make sure that she stays safe while she's up here. Now, if you do have excess sauce in the bottom and you're trying to just kind of soak it up with some extra wings, you might need to flip them around in the bottom, just anything that you didn't pour sauce on top of when you loaded it up. So now once you're done tossing your dog safe wings, it is perfectly fine to put some of your hot sauce in your shaking container and then toss some of them just in the hot sauce. So I'll take a couple wings here. I know I didn't have a whole lot of hot sauce, so we'll go ahead and take just a couple wings. Mm. Yep. That is the stuff. Mm. Well, thank you so much. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's class, and we will see you next week for some more doggone cooking.